Welcome to Lawmen, a podcast about local legends and obscure curiosities from days of yore. I'm James Shakeshaft.
I'm Alasdair Beckett-King.
And Alasdair Beckett-King. We're going to keep Austin weird today.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
I got my 10-gallon hat.
10 gallons?
Yeah, it's absolutely satched.
Alasdair, before we get into it, though, we've got to just say we are about to get the story of Goldilocks massively wrong. We will get it right by the end of the episode, but just hold your horses until we get it right. I promise you at some point we will get it right. In the meantime, enjoy the episode. Oh, hi, Alasdair.
Hi there, James.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you ready to keep Austin weird?
I'm always ready to keep Austin weird.
And I don't mean the old British car manufacturer that made the Austin Mini Metro.
You mean Austin Powers?
No.
International Man of Mystery?
It's pretty darn weird already. Not wishing to kink shame.
Is that a kink? Is that a haircut?
I think the whole thing of him was very kinky, baby.
Oh, I suppose he was.
Wasn't that his catchphrase?
Yes. Yeah. Now that you mention it,
which was he was a bit peculiar at the very least because he was out of time. But no, the Austin today that I want to keep weird is Austin, Texas, in America.
Oh yes,
because Alasdair, I've received a parcel from a listener. Thank you very much, Full Mellow Burb, for the book Haunted Austin, History and Hauntings in the Capital City from the Haunted America range of books.
Oh, now Austin has a reputation for being the cool, weird bit of Texas, right? Hence, keep Austin weird.
Yes, it's got its reputation that it needs to be kept weird.
It's like America's Hastings.
Really? Keep a Hastings weird?
Have you been to Hastings?
No, I haven't been to Hastings.
It's weird. Yeah, it's very weird. Yeah, the people who are too weird for Brighton all had to go to Hastings.
Oh, right. But in what way? Because I've been to a lot of coastal towns in the UK and most of them are weird in some way or another.
Yeah, that is true. Hastings, it's like a more surreal Margate.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of artists and creative types and oddballs went out to Hastings.
They do like the sea, don't they?
Because it's a bit cheaper than living in Brighton.
I've told you before that I used to go to Margate before it was cool.
I mean, if you went there now, you would still be going to Margate before it was completely cool. But yeah, I think you have told me that.
And I used to go to the Margate Pleasure Beach, which had a big part of it was about its ghost, the ghost of it. But I think we've talked about that before. So I'm not going to tell you about that. I'm going to keep it weird Austin-wise today.
All right. So we're talking about Austin, the Hastings of Texas, people are calling it. We don't know if that's accurate.
It sounds like the right vibe. And yeah, I got this great book and I've got a couple of little stories I'd like to tell you. First of all, Alasdair, we're talking Austin, we're talking Texas, we're talking Westerns. What's your vibe on Westerns?
Western movies?
As it Westerns with a capital W, I guess.
I like them all. I like classic Hollywood Westerns, like Red River and... The Searchers, is that the one?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, and I like spaghetti westerns.
Oh, yes.
And I like revisionist westerns.
What, those ones that I've got to test the next day or something?
Yeah, it's just lo-fi westerns to study and relax to.
Well, first of all, I want to take you to the edge of town, I can only presume, because this is farmland. This is the Eanes Marshall Ranch House, or Ranch House, as perhaps
you
they
should
say.
never have come to this place, James Shakeshaft. Get.
We're down by Eanes Creek, which is, to Austin youth, one of the sites where you can hear, one of the sounds where you can hear a mystery ghost wagon. So in the middle of the night, you would hear the creaking of straining wood and also leather and the pounding of hooves. And basically it sounds like a loose wagon with horses galloping towards you. And it would grow louder and then recede in a sort of, a slightly slow motion Doppler effect, but with hooves.
Even just the name Mystery Ghost Wagon has a very Scooby-Doo vibe to it. I think it's the prefix mystery.
Well, there is a mystery associated with it. So kids would dare each other to camp out at night to see if they could hear the ghost wagon. There was a time, one summer is the only time, so it could be any year.
Yeah, that's quite broad.
Yeah, the teenage son of, I guess, the people that lived at Eanes Marshall Ranch House and his friends camped out by Eanes Creek hoping to hear the wagon. They had sleeping bags and they were all very giddy. And then in the middle of the night, the sounds all ceased and they heard the sound of clattering wood, the creak of the leather and the metal and the thunder of the horses. And they looked, but they couldn't see anything. It grew louder and louder. And then before it reached them, the kids all ran away because they were terrified.
Okay, so that could have been a wagon.
That could easily have been a late 90s wagon, because I think this is narrowed down to the late 90s.
Oh, right. I think people still ride around on horses, don't they?
Yeah, but not galloping through the middle of the night.
I suppose not.
At a spot where a famously ghostly wagon is encountered.
So is that Eanes Creek or Ian's Creek?
E-A-N-E-S. Eanes.
Eanes. Very good. So is that named after a marshal? Marshal Ean?
It's named after Eanes Marshall. I
Eanes
think Marshall
Marshall
is the surname because there was a Bruce Marshall who lived there in the 90s, which is around the time that teenage son did that camping. And one of the reasons they were doing that camping is because in 1991, the local police, the Westlake Police, were searching for evidence of deer poachers, and they found a weird patch of soil. It was about 6 foot long and a couple of feet wide.
A very suspicious shape for a patch of odd soil.
Mm-hmm. It was indented. And so they digged it up. They did some digging. They did some quite literal digging, and they found a skeleton.
Yep. Yes, I thought so.
100-year-old skeleton, as in the skeleton had been there for 100 years, not the skeleton of someone who was 100 years old when they died. Just for clarity there.
But no, very good. Thank you for clearing that up.
But they didn't know who he was. And the marshal that lived there at that time, a Bruce Marshall, was reminded of a story he'd heard as a child. And that in 1966, a group of 5 parapsychologists from San Antonio, which I guess doesn't need to be kept weird, is weird enough already.
Maxed out on the weird.
It's kind of like, it's mummy bear amount of weird. It's not like a baby bear amount of weird that's not weird enough, or a daddy bear, which is too weird. It's a mummy bear where it's the right level of weirdness.
I was just thinking about the Goldilocks story because it kind of implies that the correct level of everything for a child is a medium-sized bear.
Yeah.
Like the amount of porridge a child would eat would be an adult female bear.
Yeah, that's a point. That's a good point, in fact.
No way that will be the same amount. The nutritional requirements of a child and a bear would be very different.
Yeah, exactly. How many salmons clutched from a river?
Yeah, I'd like to see Goldilocks batter fish to death. Couldn't happen.
No, I don't believe it.
So the corpse was found.
Yes. And Bruce Marshall had been reminded of this experience by the parapsychologist from San Antonio.
Saint Tony to you and me.
Yes. Aunt Tony, I think. Anyway, without Aunt Tony. These parapsychologists had traveled to the farm, or to the ranch, which I'm guessing is different to a farm. I'm not sure how, but I guess it is.
I think they've got those little gates that go where you drive underneath the sign for the ranch. That's the main difference, I think.
And there's only one type of dressing for your salad. They tried to make contact through automatic writing, and they did make contact. They contacted a spirit who responded to questions. There were lots of different ghosts, but the one in particular was a man who called himself Burns, and he said that 3 men had murdered him.
Could you please say this in an old-timey 49er voice?
Well, my name's Burns, and 3 men had murdered me after I'd gotten down from my wagon to move a stone from the road. So, what it's believed has happened is a guy came to town with his big wagon loaded up full of stuff, and he was going to go back from town, and he got to a bit of road where there was just a big rock in the road, which hadn't been there when he'd been there before. Yeah. Yes. And when he got down and tried to move it, he heard rustling in the bushes.
Not that kind of rustling.
What kind of, wait a minute, what kind of rustling?
Not people stealing cattle.
No.
People actually rustling.
Yes, exactly. A general bush rustle as opposed to a poach rustle. And yeah, he heard the rustling. He sneaked round behind the rock and then bam, shot dead. Bang, bang, bam, bam, bam. Or rather,
That's really good. That's exactly what it used to sound like.
And yeah, and died it. And then the people that owned the ranch found this body. And they didn't know who he was. He had no papers because, his body had been ransacked.
I don't think his body could have been ransacked.
No, they weren't doing it for organs. There wasn't a big black market organ.
Oh, they've rifled all through his liver. What were they looking for?
Oh, they took both his kidneys. But yeah, they didn't know who he was. And the people who owned the farm had sort of gave him a little burial.
That's kind of nice. Not as nice as reporting it in some way.
Well, there was a report because a newspaper reporter had witnessed this seance and he went over to the old microfilm newspaper articles because this is 1966. It's the height of microfilm.
It's microfiche time.
Why is it fish?
I don't know.
It's not on. Are they kept on individual scales?
Yeah, maybe they. Maybe
is that what
they
it
are.
means? Microfiche. Yeah. So the report that the guy found, because he did find a report that someone had been robbed and murdered on his way back from selling hay in Austin in 1871. A man by the name of Barnes.
Is that the same name that the psychics gave?
They said Burns.
Pretty close, though. Maybe that's just an accent thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what the accent's like in San Antonio, but...
Well, I think we just heard the accent.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
My name's Barnes.
Yeah, exactly. You can,
Burns.
considering how weirdly that guy talked, you can see why they were confused.
When writing it down. Yes, exactly. And the horses galloped off, presumably to their death, and that's why they're the ghosties.
Right. I would have kept the horses if I'd been robbing him, but...
I think they might have got startled by the gunshots. Pew! Remember? Pew!
Were they not attached to the wagon, though?
Yeah, but then they're running off with the wagon. Wagons don't have a brake. You don't have a handbrake on a wagon. Your brake on the wagon is telling the horses to stop.
So the robbers didn't get anything then?
Well, they
I suppose the wagon only had hay on it. Why are you robbing a guy for hay? Oh, I guess he made money from the hay.
I think he would have sold the hay, maybe picked up a few provisions, made a bunch of money, which he kept as disgust in his liver. So that is the old-timey cowboy-y bit, and that was from 1871. But fast forward 14 years and about 7 miles away to the centre of town.
Fast forward 7 miles.
To the Hotel Driskill, or rather the Driskill Hotel.
What kind of establishment is this? I am picturing saloon doors and an overhead fan.
It's a big brick building that is built on the site of the old spring that was there. And it was actually the fact that the spring was there sort of helped this guy's business because it meant that he could open all sorts of different businesses there out of this big, it's basically a city block that's mostly a big hotel, but also has like a barber's in it, a cafe, I'm guessing some sort of vape shop or the equivalent at the time of vape shop.
Sarsaparilla vapes. Can I say that again, but in a better accent? Give me a sarsaparilla vape.
Sarsaparilla.
And they slide it down the bar to you.
Do they refill it with the little pipette thing that I've seen people use, or do they just leave the pipette on the bar with you? Leave it here, and then you refill your own little. I don't really understand.
And the bartender with a tiny little Q-tip cleaning inside of a vape.
Yeah. Tell me about your problems. So yes, this is the Driskill establishment owned by Colonel Driskill, who.
Colonel Driskill?
Colonel Driskill, who was an entrepreneur who had made his money after the Civil War.
Which side of the Civil War do we think Colonel Driskill was on?
It's not mentioned, so...
It's not mentioned, okay.
All
right.
And he rounded up huge numbers of Texas Longhorns.
Cows,
and kind of, sold them.
Just in case you were struggling to visualize that.
Yes, and he made a fair bit of money, and he had an unstoppable resolve to build the finest hotel west of the Mississippi. And he laid the cornerstone for the hotel on July the 4th, 1885, and it was finished around December 1886. And it was fancy. It sported the finest speakeasy Austin had to offer during Prohibition years, but it's also thick with ghosts.
Of course it is.
It's got the ghost of Colonel Driskill. Apparently, he still knocks around up on the higher floors, floor sort of 4 and 5, which are the guest floors.
He's always going around going, "It was about states' rights." Was it, Colonel?
Well, I'm going to vanish now in a puff of vape smoke. There's also your classic ghost Victorian girl. Well, Victorian-looking girl, I guess. I don't know what that era is called in America.
I think it's called Victorian.
Is it just Victorian the world over, the Western world over?
If you look up Victorian architecture, you get loads of American buildings from that era because they call that style, you know, like the Addams Family house.
Yeah.
Those big standalone houses, they call those Victorian. And they obviously, no house in Britain has ever looked anything like that. So it's very irritating whilst trying to search for Victorian stuff.
There is one house in Britain. It's my favourite house in Crystal Palace.
Yes, actually, yes, there is that house in Crystal Palace that looks like the Addams Family house.
We've talked about it before. Did I tell you about when I went past it and it had like a 1970s American looking, what's that car that's got the wood on it? Is it not a Winnebago?
Like a Lincoln sedan? I know the one you mean.
The one that they drive in National Lampoon's Vacation or something.
I think it's possible that you and I don't know the name of this type of car.
Sorry, Americans. Let us know the name of that type of car. You know, with the wood on the side. Anyway, so yes, going back to the Driskill Hotel.
Colonel Driskill.
There's also a little ghost Victorian girl, which is just sort of, you know, you'd round a corner and you just glimpse her just going round the other end of the corner kind of thing. Little sound of giggling. She
probably sings.
And the sound of a bouncing ball. Dot, 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 dot. So that was
I really
a little
like
horse.
Your little girl. Very tiny horse.
That was a small horse the small ghost horse there.
Set her up, little Victorian girl.
This girl would eat the same amount as a mummy horse. There's also the ghost of a jilted bride that haunts the bridal suite. So this is confusing because we've just been talking about horses.
This is bride owl, not bridal LE.
Yes. And there you get evidence of that in lights will be flickering, doors will be opening and closing. There's the scent of flowers, which again, that might be the ghost of the vape shop. And the sad sound of someone crying.
That's the bride, I guess, the jilted bride.
Yes. And sorry,
if I were jilted, I wouldn't go to the hotel.
Don't hang around the bridal suite as well.
No.
It's just
going to draw attention to having been jilted.
It's ever so triggering. That little selection of ghosts, by the way, I got from austinghosts.com. Thanks, that website. But to go back to Haunted Austin, History and Hauntings in the Capital City by Janine Plummer. Janine themselves had a ghost experience.
Oh.
Well, a secondhand ghost experience. They spoke to someone who had a first-hand ghost experience in 1999, which is, fun fact, 1 year before the Keep Austin Weird catchphrase was coined.
Oh. So at this time, Austin was maintaining its weirdness without anybody needing to put any effort in.
Yeah, it was a self-regulating amount of weirdness.
But since then, weirdness has depleted.
Yes. And is up to the general public to step in.
Come on, people of Austin, do your bit.
Come on, continue to be weird. So Janine was talking to a woman, and the woman was telling the story of how her and her girlfriend were staying in Austin for a conference, and they were staying at the Driskill, and they knew that it was haunted, but they didn't get to go on the most haunted floors, the 4th and 5th floors, because they were closed for renovations. On the end of their stay, they thought, you know what? We're going to go up there anyway and see what we can find. So they go up to the 4th floor in the night and they go through the double doors, and it's all, you know, it's all set up like, as it describes it, basically describes, you know, how in a film when things are done up for renovations, there's ladders, materials.
There'll be dust sheets over things.
Plastic sheeting.
What's that? That dust sheet appears to be taking the shape of a human figure, but no, it's just a mannequin. Under there, James. There's not a person. But that curtain seems to be shifting strangely.
They just saw a woman walking down the hallway with a bunch of shopping bags. And what's she doing out here at 2 a.m? And what's she doing on this floor that's being renovated? How come she's allowed to stay here and we weren't? And so they call out to her, excuse me, doesn't it? I don't think this would have been their accent because it doesn't say they came from the south of England. Excuse me, doesn't it bother you to stay on this floor while the renovations are going on? And without turning, the woman clearly said, no, it doesn't bother me at all. And then they sort of felt a bit weird asking her these questions. And she was sort of stood outside this door to this room. And they just kind of had the weird feeling and they decided to just go away very quickly. And then the next day when they were checking out, they grilled that front desk clerk.
We would say clerk. They would say clerk.
They grilled that front desk clerk.
From New Jersey.
From New Jersey.
I'm going to grill that front desk clerk.
They were like, what? How come people were allowed to stay on the fourth floor? We wanted to stay on the fourth floor, see the ghosties and stuff.
We're not allowed to stay on the fourth with no fourth
was she allowed to do that?
What?
The clerk.
And the clerk didn't understand any of that.
He said, there's no guests on that floor, mate. I'll prove it.
He's not from New Jersey. Yeah. He said, what are you talking about, mate? No way.
No way, man. And they went up there and they went to the room where they'd seen the lady going in and there was mattress covered in plastic outside. The toilet was not even installed. And, there was nothing there. It was not a room that was in use.
Right.
And they realized they'd seen something. And they did a bit of digging. In the early 80s, a Houston socialite's fiance cancelled their wedding, but the fiancée still went to the Driskill. She reserved a room for 5 days. She went to the bar, ordered a diet soda, and then she went on a shopping spree, spending $40,000 American dollars on her ex-fiancé's credit cards.
Oh, good. Good for you, honey.
And then she went up to her room, this room, closed the door, locked it, and then a few days later, the housekeeper noticed the do not disturb sign was still on the doorknob and no one had seen her. And then he kicked the door in and she was there, died by a gunshot wound. And it says her name has been lost in time. So
don't check.
So don't Google it.
Don't look it up in any way.
Don't look it up to see
it's been lost in time.
See if there's any sort of investigation into what really sounds like a murder. But potentially that could be another ghost of a different jilted bride.
A different two jilted brides?
/ fiancé.
Wow.
Because I suppose if you're a jilted bride, you're actually technically a jilted fiancé unless you go through with the wedding and then the husband jilts.
I don't think so, because I think on the day of the wedding, you are a bride.
You are a bride. Yes, you
even
are
before married.
All right. I'll give you that. So when do you stop being the fiancé, I suppose?
I don't know. On the day of the wedding, maybe?
So midnight.
Yeah.
Come on, we need to narrow it down.
Yes, midnight. On midnight, the day before.
Okay, what if you get married on the day the clocks change, Alasdair? Come on. You haven't thought this through.
Well, then it's midnight -1. Anyway.
So, Alasdair, those few little ghost stories was my vain effort to keep Austin weird.
Yeah, I think you've made Austin a little bit weirder.
It was pretty weird.
Yeah, pretty good. All the way through, all I've been wanting to do is say the lines from the 1997 LucasArts first-person shooter Outlaws.
And what are the lines?
Because the main character in that used to be a marshal. So as you're hunting down varmints, they taunt you by shouting, "Where are you, Marshal?" And hope you dance better than you shoot. So I've had, "Where are you, Marshal?" stuck in my head on a loop as you've been talking.
One thing I forgot to mention as well was when that guy was murdered back on the ranch, the Eanes Marshall Ranch, it describes the sound of gunfire of that guy getting murdered and the whole family come out. And it says here, just up the hill, the Eanes family heard the gunshot crack. There was no reason for a shot to be fired so close to their house. Could somebody be hunting on their land? The thought of foul play crossed everyone's mind as the family grabbed their weapons and hurried to where the shot sounded. So just a whole family's worth.
Come on, little Lucy.
You've got Daddy's gun. That's far too big. The baby gun, that's too small, whereas the mummy's gun is just the right size of gun for a young child.
Yeah.
For a human female child.
America. What are they like?
So are you ready to score?
Yes, I am, James.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All righty. Well, first up, I'm quite confident on this naming. Oh, it's not the most amount of names, but it's not the least. And we got Eanes Marshall.
We've got Eanes Marshall. We've got Colonel Driskill, good name.
And also, that's two different ranks already there, a marshal and a colonel.
Yep.
We got Janine Plummer. Maybe it's Plumer. I'm not sure that's a rank, but it is a role.
A plumber of Janine's. Very good, yep.
Actually, my confidence is ebbing. We had no other names of any of the
Confidence
ghosts.
ebbing?
Confidence is ebbing. Yeah, we didn't have any other names, did we? We had a Bruce Marshall.
Yeah, a lot of different marshals.
Eames Creek.
Yeah. Maybe you could have had a TV show called Martial Law. There is a TV show called Martial Law. I guess the main character's called Marshall in it. They better be called that, because if not, you've missed a trick.
Or maybe, I don't know. Barnes and Burns, that ghost had two names in a way. So that's more.
Okay. All right.
Names.
It's a mighty fine 2 out of 5 for you there, James. There's 2s in them there 5s.
Shoot. Environment. Environment. Second category then, supernatural.
Well, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Pretty high, James.
We got a ghost wagon.
It's 5 out of 5.
Thank you very much.
Supernatural. I enjoyed they were okay. They were all stock ghosts off the shelf, but I did think the encounter with the woman in the hotel was quite spooky. So 5 out of 5.
Third category, keeping Austin weird.
Well, we certainly have kept it a little bit weird.
Yeah.
We've done our part.
Are you, what's he called, Lord Kitchener, and you're pointing at yourself going, I did my bit.
Yeah, yes, I am. Austin needs me to keep it weird from afar. You've certainly added to Austin's weirdness.
So how weird are we keeping it out of 5? Did I miss
that? I've heard of weirder
one.
Places, I think.
But I think we've been keeping it weird because we've not mentioned anything normal.
Well, we've maintained weirdness levels, I agree. But this podcast is always about weird stuff, so I don't think Austin is especially weird. So I'm going to say it's a 3 out of 5 because we have kept it fairly weird, but not very weird.
Reasonably weird. Would you say we kept it just the right amount of weird?
Probably, yes. Yeah, probably not too weird and not weird enough.
Good, because I've lured you into a trap, because my next category is the Goldilocks principle.
All right. Just full disclosure for the listener, we had a little pause before we did the scores, and in that time, I checked what the plot of Goldilocks was. And of course, she eats the baby bear's porridge, James, not a full adult woman bear's.
Wait a minute, what?
Porridge. Yeah, she eats baby bear's porridge, not a full adult bear, female bear's porridge.
We're going to have to put a disclaimer in at the beginning.
There's a Goldilocks error in this episode.
When we got it wrong.
Of course, a child and a baby bear would eat a similar amount of food. Of course.
That makes sense. Okay, well, when we record the intro, because peek behind the curtain, we record the intros afterwards, we'll mention
exactly the situation.
And hopefully by this point, people will not have consistently been emailing us about how wrong we are.
We're going to get postcards. But if anything, that makes this episode a better example of the Goldilocks principle.
Why?
Because we were saying that it didn't make sense, but actually the story does make sense.
I think the opposite. I think this makes it not an example of the Goldilocks principle, because that is where you get things just right. And we've been getting it very wrong.
All right. I suppose we were a little bit wrong about what the plot of Goldilocks is.
No wonder we got so annoyed about it. Well, I think, Alasdair, that this episode has been a Goldilocks of an episode. It's not been too long. It's not been too short.
Yep.
It's just right. It's not been a Daddy Bear amount of lawman. It's not been the kind of lawman episode that Daddy Bear likes. Yes, where it's all murder and stuff. It's not been a Mummy Bear amount of where it's not enough murder and stuff.
Nowhere near enough murder. There has been one murder, yeah.
It's just the Baby Bear amount of murder in this episode.
Yes, delicious.
Which is 2, which is probably 2.
Okay, well, I mean, I could give you 5 out of 5, James, but I think that would be too many points.
Oh,
and I could give you 1 out of 5. No. How did you not see this coming? I could give you 1 out of 5, but I think that would be not enough points. But I think 3 out of 5 would be just right.
This petard is just right for hoisting me.
You've walked right into a bear's cottage.
A bear trap that was just the right size for me. Ow.
James being, as we said earlier, roughly the size of a bear.
Could fight. Just because I'm fighting it doesn't mean I'm winning, by the way.
No, I just said I could fight a bear. I didn't say I would win in a fight with a bear. So actually check your facts.
Also, can I have some more blood, please? Because I'm dying.
Not too much blood.
It's not too A positive. It's not too O negative. So we did get it right in the end.
Yeah. We know the story of Goldilocks.
There's a few bonus bits you can enjoy if you join us at patreon.com/lawmenpod.
And if you do that, you can hop into the Discord to discuss things with like-minded lawfolk.
You've got your tour coming out soon?
I've announced my tour dates for 2026.
I was on a recent episode of The Rules, which if you go to podcast providers, you'll be able to find it. The Rules with James Shakeshaft. I really let eggs have it. So
I wouldn't want to be an egg around about now.
Thank you very much to Laurence for editing this episode. And thank you very much to all the people that already do support us on Patreon. And see you next time.
Goodbye. Go ahead, partner. Partner. Go ahead, partner. Trying to do a Texan accent. Hello, Mr. Shagshaft.
I do declare. That's definitely Southern, but I don't think it's the right sort of Southern, is it?
Yeah, I think that's, you're in Benoit Blanc, Foghorn Leghorn territory.